Hello students, in this particular video we will be revising our second chapter, that is whole numbers. So first of all, let us see what are whole numbers. So whole numbers are a combination of 0 plus natural numbers. So you have already read in previous classes about natural numbers, that is the simple counting 1, 2 and 3. What is the difference over here? After the discovery of 0, this number also had to be included in our counting, so we just added 0 over here, and after this what it becomes a complete set of numbers for me. So for example, now I'll call it like 0 1 2 3 4. So here a very important question arises with the combination of whole numbers and natural numbers, that are all natural numbers whole numbers? So you can easily check that all natural numbers are present in the collection of whole numbers. So that's why you can say that all natural numbers are whole numbers. But if the question is reverse, that is all whole numbers are natural numbers, then you cannot say that, because 0 is a whole number and it is not included in natural numbers. So that's why all whole numbers are not natural numbers, but all natural numbers are whole numbers. So let us proceed further and see what are the different terms provided in this particular chapter. First term here is predecessor and successor. So here if you look at the words clearly, here it is written pre. So pre is derived from the word that is previous. So for finding out a previous of a particular number, you have to simply subtract 1 from it. And then in the second term it is written successor. So here success is written. Whenever you get a success, you reach 1 point ahead. So if someone is asking you, a question is provided that find the predecessor of a particular number, you have to simply subtract -1 from it. And if it says that you have to find the successor, then you have to simply add +1 in that particular number. For example, here if a number like 16 is provided, what will be its predecessor? I'll subtract -1 and I'll get the value, that is 15. And if I have to find the successor, I'll add +1 and I'll get the value, that is 17. I hope it's clear. Okay, so now let us move ahead. Here the definition of whole numbers is written in your book, that is the natural numbers along with 0 form the collection of whole numbers. That is, simply you can say that the natural numbers plus whole numbers will provide you what we call, that is, whole numbers. Now here arises your number line. This is your number line, that is starting with 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Here with the observation, you can clearly observe some kind of numbers and then you can portray some results from it. For example, if I specifically choose this 4, on its right hand side you will see that a number +1 is written, that is the successor. And then on left hand side -1, that is a number smaller than it is written. So whenever you will move on your number line and you will go on right hand side, you will get plus numbers, that is the greater numbers will be there on right hand side. But if you will move on left hand side, the number will decrease. For example, here you can simply say that numbers on number lines are written in ascending order. First the smaller number, then you will move on right hand side, you will get a greater number by the value +1 in it every time when you move on your number line. Okay, so in this way you can read your number lines. Now the same process you can apply for addition and subtraction on a particular number line. For example, if it is asked addition on number line, that means when you are adding, you will move towards the right hand side. Why? Just right now, earlier I explained that when you will move on right hand side, you will simply add +1 on it and you will get a greater number. So whenever addition is required, you have to move on right hand side. For example, if it was said that you have to add 3 + 2, That is, after 3 I have to move 2 steps right hand side. That is, I'll reach the value 5 and 5 will be my answer. And again, for subtraction I'll follow the same step but in a reverse manner. For example, if it is said that 3 minus 2, now I'll move on left hand side and 2 times. So here I will reach on the value plus 1. So in this way you can simply use your number line to calculate addition and subtraction and find out your answer easily with the help of it. Now the question arises for multiplication. For multiplication, what we have to do? Multiplication means addition of a particular numbers as many times as it is provided. For example, it is written 4 multiply 3. That is, simply if I say I have to simply add 3 times 4, or you can simply say I have to add 3 4 times. For example, it is like 0 1 2 3. I'll add in it 1 2 3 one time. Here it is one time, here it is second time, now 1 2 3 it is third time, now 1 2 3 it is fourth time. So I added 3 4 times, so I got the result 12. You can also do it like this. This is the 4 and again you will add 1 2 3 4, you will reach here. And again, how many times? 3 times I had to 1 2 3 4. So you will get the same result, that is the 12 is your answer. So for multiplication you have to keep in mind, multiplication is simply a addition. How many times the question has asked, you have to simply add that particular value that times and you will reach your answer with the help of this number line. You can simply do it. Now let us move to next topic. So here in exercise some questions are provided. For example, in first it is asking next 3 natural numbers. So finding out next 3, that means I have to plus 1, I'll get the first value, then plus 1 I'll get the second value, then in this plus 1 again I'll get the third value. For example, if over here it is asked the first value will be by adding simply 1 over it. So we will simply get 9 1 0 0 0 1 1. So it is my next one number. For getting the next one I have to simply add 1, so it will become my next natural number. So in this way you can simply calculate these values. Now 3 whole numbers occurring just before means earlier, so that means this time you have to subtract minus 1. How many times? 3 times to get 3 values. Now next, which is the smallest whole number? So smallest whole number beginning with 0, so 0 is the smallest whole number. How many times whole numbers are there? How many whole numbers are there between 32 and 53? So you can just simply calculate it with the help of subtraction. For example, I am providing another example to you. I am choosing like 11 and 13. So I have to calculate how many number lies in between. So here you can simply say that ma'am, here 12 is written. So there is only one whole number that can be written in between. Or simply if I would have subtracted it, 13 minus 11, I would have got the value 2. So you have to keep in mind, when you subtract the values, you have to subtract one more value to get your answer. Now I hope you can solve this particular question. Now next, it is written like successor and predecessors that you can do. So now let us move ahead. Here in this question, particular question number 7, it is asked that state which whole number will lie on left of the other number. For example, here 2 numbers are provided. You know that on left hand side which number will lie? Smaller number will lie. That is, here if I say which number will lie? 503 will be lying on the left hand side of 530. In that way you can do it, and then you have to simply put this greater than less than sign. For example, 503 is less than 530. That is, the left hand side will be the number on left hand side, that is the smaller one, we will put this mark on this side. Okay, now there are some true false, you can solve them. I'm moving ahead. Okay, so here now properties of whole numbers. So you will be reading about some properties over here regarding whole numbers. So let us look at the first property here provided to you is the closure property. So by closure, what you mean? Close means that a close figure. If it is a room for whole number, that means if I take a particular whole number and add some whole number in it and I get the result for again a whole number, then I will say that my whole number is closed under addition. Okay, again for checking multiplication, this time I'll apply multiplication operation. For example, one whole number multiplied by another whole number give me the result as whole number. If this condition does not hold, that it goes out of this room, or I get any other kind of number that is a integer, rational number, fractions, so in that if I'll get that value, then I would say it is not closed under multiplication. But since it will provide me a value that is again a whole number, so I would say that whole numbers are closed under addition and also under multiplication. So now again let us see what different properties are provided. Now next, division by zero is explained. So here what main thing that you have to keep in mind, whenever you will divide by zero any particular number, the value is not defined, because you will get the repeated answer, the same answer. How many times you proceed the steps, it doesn't matter. So that's why it is said that whenever you will divide by 0 any particular number, that is 3 divided by 0 or another division, it is not defined. You have to simply keep that at this particular point in your mind for your future references. Now next, here it is commutative property. For commutative, you have to simply keep in mind, whenever you hear the word commutative, the word order should be come in your mind. By order I means in which order I take a particular number. For example, I write 3 plus 4 or I write 4 plus 3. So I have changed the order of these particular numbers. That is, it is commutative. Commutative under addition means if I apply this particular operation and the value becomes equal, then I'll say it is commutative under addition. Now let us move ahead. So simply you can say that if you have to check for whether or addition or multiplication, you have to simply change the order of the particular numbers and you have to check whether your result is correct or not. If you get the same result, you will say it is commutative under addition, it is commutative under multiplication. So now move on to another. So here it is written in your book that you can add two whole numbers in any order. Now here is given associative property. By associative, it means that this time you will be having three numbers like 2, 3, 4. Here again 2, 3, 4. This time what you have to do, you have to solve first these numbers. For example, if I'll solve them, I'll get 5 and then I'll add third number in it. Next time I'll add last 2 and then add 2 in it. So if I get the same result, then I'd say it is associative under addition. For multiplication, what I have to do, I have to simply change plus with multiplication, and I have to focus over here. If I get the same result by changing the grouping of a particular pairs, then if the answer is same, I'll say that it holds the associative property under multiplication. So whole numbers are both in addition and multiplication show associative property. Now next, here is provided some uses of those particular properties. For example, here it is 12 multiplied 35. So it becomes a difficult question of multiplication because both are big numbers for us. So what we can do, we can simply split this particular number. 6 multiplied 2. So now you can see here are three numbers, and if you will first multiply both of them, or either you multiply first these two terms and then by 6, no difference will be there because this was what? This was our associative property. So here I made the grouping of first 35 and 2. Why? Because 2 5s are 10. It will provide 0 at unit place. And why I focus on making 0? Because whenever there is a 0 and I multiply any particular number with it, I have to simply multiply these two numbers and put, if there is single zero, I'll put single zero. If there would have been two zeros, it will be two zeros. So multiplication with zero becomes easy. So that's why I made the pair of two numbers that will provide zero at one's place. So I used here my associative property to decode this particular question. So now in exercise as well, some questions of rearrangements are provided. So here by rearrangement you have to simply use your properties over here. For example, for addition I have to do this. So I told you that I'll focus that number, the arrangement that will provide me 0 at one's place. So here if I see, here is 7 and here is 3. 7, 3 will provide me 10. So if I'll arrange them like 8, 3, 7 plus 3, 6, 3, and then later on I'll write the another one. So here if I'll add them, then 7, 3, 10, 0 here, it will again 0, 8, 9 and this. So I got this 1200. Now I can simply add this particular number in it. So in this manner I could easily solve this particular problem. So over here, so next question is like find the product of by suitable rearrangement. So here as well I can simply arrange it like 50 and 2. I'll arrange them. So here I am changing the order. Here as well I change the order. Here I'll change the order. I'll write these two terms together so that it will provide me 100, so that multiplication for me becomes easier. So whenever I change the order, it is called the commutative property. So here in the third one I have to solve it. So here what I can see that 297 is present at both the places. That means I can simply write it like this: 17 plus 3. This particular property is called distributive property. Distributive of multiplication over addition means this particular number will be distributed to it and to 3 as well. So in this way I can solve it. So with the help of this distributive property, these questions can be easily solved out. In fourth question as well, I can use the distributive property. Here what I'll do, it is like 738 multiply, I can simply write it like 100 plus 3. Again, just I explain right now, it will be applied over here, it will be applied over here. I can write it in this expanded form. So in that way I can simply solve these particular questions. Now let us move ahead. In this particular exercise, some minor but important questions are provided. For example, the first question, it says which of the following will not represent 0. So here you can easily see 1 plus 0 will give you the value 1. So it does not represent a 0. Next question is, if the product of two whole numbers is 0, can we say that one or both of them will be 0? So if I multiply it like this, can I get the zeros result? Right. So the condition of both is not true. So it is not necessary that both the numbers should be 0. Next, let us have a look at the fifth question. Here you have to study the particular pattern provided. So here you can see that here the counting was 1. Then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. In the same manner, if I will say here is 8, 8, here is 8, 8, 8. So here as well it will become 8. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will become 6 in the next term. Now next similarly here it is what written? 9, 98, 987. So I can see that it is decreasing in order. So here my result will be like this: 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4. In this way you can simply solve all the questions. So this was enough for today's video. See you in next video. Tab tak ke liye bye bye.